A collection of autographs that I acquired from my father. He was born in 1920, lived just outside of Boston.
The guest's father, who was born in 1920 and lived just outside of Boston, started this amazing collection of autographs. In his early teens, he attended Red Sox and Braves games and began writing letters to baseball players who went on to become legends, requesting their autographs. The result? 12 signatures, 8 from future Hall of Famers, and among them are Babe Ruth, Cy Young, Honus Wagner, and Tris Speaker, some of the most revered names in the sport's history.
He only has 12 autographs in the book, but 8 of the 12 players made it to the Hall of Fame.
Right. So his list of who he considered the best in the game, or one of the best in the game, was a pretty tight and factual list.
Exactly.
Also included are 3 autographed baseballs. One is a 1930 Boston Braves partial team ball with Rabbit Marinville. Another is a 1928 to 1930 Philadelphia A's full team signed ball with 19 signatures. These baseballs were carefully kept by the guest family for decades, with each signed ball holding a unique piece of baseball history.
He went to a game with a baseball glove and actually caught a foul ball from Babe Ruth, and that was tucked in this shoebox with all of the other collectibles. And I'm one of 5 boys in the family who love to get out and throw and bat baseballs in the backyard.
The appraiser explains that one of the most interesting balls in the collection is a 1930 Boston Braves partial team-signed ball, featuring about 9 signatures, including Rabbit Marinville, an iconic player of the time. Another rare piece is the 1928 to 1930 Philadelphia A's team-signed ball, containing 19 signatures. While the exact year is uncertain, it's clear that this ball is part of a historic time in baseball. The most important of the baseballs is the 1933 Washington Senators team-signed ball, a highly rare item that commemorates their American League pennant win that year.
It's a real important baseball, and there's only been maybe 1 or 2 in that condition I've ever seen.
The guest also owns a Cy Young signed baseball, Babe Ruth, and a Honus Wagner signed album page. The Tris Speaker signed album also adds to the collection's value. The appraiser estimates the insurance value for these pieces. The 1930 Braves ball is valued at $1,000, the Philadelphia A's ball at $4,000, and the Washington Senators ball at $6,000. The guest's entire autographed album is valued at around.
You'd want to insure that for $4,000.
Wow, terrific. Okay.
So in total, I would insure this group here today for $25,000.
Really? Wow, that's unbelievable. Terrific. Thank you.
It was originally purchased by my grandfather somewhere between 1920 and 1970. He was an avid collector.
His grandfather was an avid collector, transforming his home into what could only be described as a museum. After his passing in 1972, the guest's father inherited many of the items, including this sculpture. When his father passed away in 2017, the guest inherited it, having claimed first dibs on it, just as his father did before. This bronze sculpture was crafted by the elusive Russian artist Evgeny Naps. Cast in St. Petersburg, Russia, at the Werfel Foundry around 1982, this piece is believed to be one of the earliest castings, produced in a limited period, probably between 1982 and 1992. The artist, who remains somewhat of a mystery.
And there is no biography for him. Because there's no information, there's been some speculation that it was another artist, Lanceray, who was very well known. He was in a purportedly very restrictive contract with the Chopin Foundry.
The bronze sculpture depicts a dramatic scene, a bear attacking a child, with the mother standing by, wielding an axe to protect her young. The fine detail and striking composition of the piece showcases Naps's skill in capturing intense, raw emotion. The title of this piece remains unclear. It is sometimes referred to as the bear attack, while others call it defending her child.
In the 19th century, there was a real interest in sort of a national style. You see lots of winter scenes, troika sleds, Cossacks on horseback, animals, these sort of scenes that were really helping with the folklore of what the Russian culture.
St. Petersburg was a cosmopolitan hub during the 19th century, producing art that found its way into Western collections, and this bronze sculpture is one of them. The guest mentions an appraisal from 1980 that valued this piece at $5,000, but the appraiser reveals that the market for Russian bronzes like this one has grown substantially in recent years. The appraiser estimates that this piece, due to its size and the historical significance of both the artist and the subject, would now fetch between.
If I were to estimate this for auction, I would say between $20,000 and $30,000.
Wow. Unfortunately, I'll never see it. This is never leaving the house.
This is a prisoner of war model from circa 1800.
This beautiful model of a ship has been in the guest's family for 7 generations. It was first made by a French prisoner during the Napoleonic Wars around the year 1800s. While they were in jail in Britain, the sailors, many of whom were skilled craftsmen, used the bones from their meals to make models and objects and make money. This model represents the peak of such prison-made works. The prisoners softened and carved cattle and sheep bones to make delicate, detailed parts. Some models were made solo, while others were collaborative, with different artisans contributing their best skills. The rigging here is especially fine, made from silk, horsehair, or even human hair.
They had drill bits, they used needles to create these little fine, tedious holes to do all this rigging.
The carved figurehead of a woman is a particularly desirable detail. The ship may depict a specific French vessel or a generic warship.
Little hatches with the cannons, with the rigging that is so delicate.
Originally, such models sold for £20 to £40, a year's wage for a laborer at the time.
One of these ship models might have been able to sell for somewhere between 20 and 40 pounds sterling back in 1800.
The piece still includes its original European shipping case, labeled with a plea for careful handling. It's a rare survivor of war, art, and personal history. Given its condition, craftsmanship, and provenance, the retail value today is estimated at.
And I think because it's a family treasure, we put an insurance value on it of somewhere in the $15,000 to $18,000 range.
Interesting.
15, 20 years ago, this might have been a $25,000, $30,000.
My grandmother, Marguerite, was born in Paris. This photograph is of her in 1929. She was 24 years old.
The guest's grandmother, Marguerite, born in Paris, passed down a remarkable Man Ray photograph from 1929 showing her at the age of 25. The photo was a part of a series by Man Ray, and it was passed from Marguerite to her daughter and eventually to the guest.
He was fortunate enough to be exhibiting very early upon his arrival, but commercially he wasn't as successful as he would have liked. So this led him to open a portrait gallery in 1922.
The appraiser discusses Man Ray's significant role in the Dada and Surrealist movements, explaining the dreamlike qualities of the photo. It captures the surrealistic idea of gravity-defying hair and closed eyes, representing the artistic expression rather than just a likeness.
That he meant it to be a final work of art because he really beautifully mounted it and then has a signature below. It's a complete dreamlike state that is emphasized by her eyes being closed, and additionally this defying gravity motion of her hair.
The guest shares the emotional connection to the piece, emphasizing how it became a family treasure over the years. Man Ray's portrait style was highly surreal, and this particular photograph of the guest's grandmother features inverted gravity, with her hair flowing upwards. In 1934, Man Ray published a book showcasing 100 images, and the guest's photograph was featured in the publication, with a special dedication to her grandmother, Guite. The book, titled Photographs by Man Ray, 1920 Paris, 1934, included an inscription for Guite, who helped make this book with her golden hair, Man Ray. The uniqueness of the work, which can be seen in two different orientations, adding to its surreal impact.
Who helped make this book with her golden hair, Man Ray. The book is titled Photographs by Man Ray, 1920, Paris, 1934. And what's really special is within this book,
the book, although in rough condition due to its spiral spine, could still be valued between $3,000 and $500. The photograph is a remarkable piece of art, though showing some wear with foxing and emulsion chips. In its current condition, the photograph is estimated at.
I would estimate the work at $25,000 to $35,000.
Wow.
Well, this watch was inherited by my husband from his father and from his father before him.
The guest's family heirloom, a Cartier Santos Dumont watch, has been passed down through generations, originating from the guest's husband's grandfather, a race car driver. Initially believed to be a woman's watch due to its small size, the guest later discovered that it was in fact her husband's grandfather's watch, worn on his wedding day.
It wasn't until some time later that I came across some old family pictures, and I could see in this picture here my husband's grandfather wearing the watch. And that's when I realized it was his watch, not his wife.
The watch was manufactured around 1920 by Cartier, referencing the Santos Dumont design, which was initially made for Brazilian aviator Alberto Santos Dumont in the early 19s.
I love this center picture here because you can clearly see him wearing the watch. And do you know what year he got married? Because we have a picture of him wearing the watch here on his wedding day.
That was 1927.
It is an 18-karat gold watch.
The watch features a silver dial, French hallmarks, and a cabochon sapphire on the original winding crown.
So I suspect this watch was purchased in the United States.
Really?
Probably on one of his trips to the States.
Oh, that's
or
interesting.
we don't know if it was given to him as a gift or not. Now, the design of this watch looks like a modern-day Cartier Santos.
Yes.
Despite the absence of Cartier's signature on the face, the appraiser assures the guest that the lack of a signature doesn't diminish the watch's value.
Your watch, by the serial number, we dated about 1920. They started manufacturing these watches about 1911, and then they have progressed over the years with different mechanisms.
The guest is concerned about the watch's signature, but the appraiser reassures her that it's not a deal breaker due to the watch's early production date.
Cartier's serial numbers here. There's also French hallmarks on there, which is the eagle's head. You have the original winding crown on here too. That has a cabochon sapphire.
The appraiser estimates the watch's value at auction at...
Your watch today at auction, I can say, would easily bring between $12,000 to $15,000.
Oh, wow, that's more than I thought. That's wonderful, thank you. And one day I'll probably hand it down to my daughter.
I got this cello when I was in high school. I was playing a student cello at the time, and my cello teacher wanted me on a better instrument, so she recommended a luthier from a town about 4 hours from where I grew up in Florida.
The guest first received this cello in high school, a wooden beauty from a Florida luthier, and it was cherished for over 25 years. Crafted between 1800 and 1820 in the Klingenthal region of Germany.
It's a great size. It's a 29-inch back, which is a little bit unusual for German cellos. They tend to be at least 30 inches, sometimes a little bit bigger.
Inside are clues to its long journey, a repair label from Portland, Maine, and an original maker's label from the Clem family. German luthiers who later opened a music store in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
They made cellos and violins and violas, and this member of their family moved to the United States of America and started a music store.
Its top is carved from Bavarian spruce, while the back, sides, and neck are made of Bavarian maple. The neck was raised, not replaced, a method used to modernize Baroque instruments to fit the demands of steel strings and modern playing technique.
This one, as you can clearly see the lines along the side of the neck and across the heel of there, where this was raised in that fashion. This is the original neck.
It was originally purchased for $4,000, including the bow and the shipping on the Greyhound bus, and after being played, it now holds a value closer to.
At retail, I would think that this would be priced at about $8,000 in a violin shop that's specialized in cellos and violins.
Great.
Well, I brought a cane. I bought it online a few years ago. I'm not a cane collector, but when I saw all these fantastic creatures on it.
The guest's family heirloom, an 18th century folk art cane, was purchased for just $250 online, but held a deep connection to their family's history. The cane is covered with intricate carvings of animals, including snakes, alligators, and horny toads, making it a unique and fascinating piece. This cane was carved from either white pine or basswood, which were popular choices for American carvers in the late 18s.
Both woods are indigenous to North America, and both are easy to work. So it was the carver's wood of choice.
With detailed carvings like snakes and lizards wrapped around vines, the craftsmanship of the cane elevates it beyond ordinary folk art. The careful attention to detail, including the negative space beneath the spider's legs, showcases the skill of the artist.
So he just didn't carve it as a lump on the piece of wood. He actually got under the legs and delineated each leg.
This carved piece stands out as a best example of folk art, and the appraiser explains that the carver's expertise and time spent on the intricate details make it particularly special.
Because someone who made this cane clearly wasn't an amateur.
Right.
We don't know who the carver is. That's the interesting thing.
While the identity of the artist remains unknown, the intricate carvings indicate a professional, not an amateur, and the cane was likely created around 1819.
We look at canes and we sometimes judge them as good, better, best. And I think clearly this falls into the best category.
Oh, wow.
The appraiser discusses how many folk art carvers didn't paint their pieces due to the materials available in the 19th century, which would obscure the fine details. Despite its age, the cane's condition is excellent, and the appraiser mentions the original patina and how the unpainted details allow the craftsmanship to shine. The appraiser estimates the value of the cane to be between.
I think in today's market, a fair retail valuation for this would be $6,000 to $8,000.
Oh my God. I had absolutely no idea. Oh, great. That's fantastic. Thank you.
I purchased this about a year ago. I paid $20 and I found it through like a local buy and sell app.
The guest shares that they purchased the item just a year ago through a local buy and sell app, paying only $20 for it. The seller, going through a divorce, had no idea about the sculpture's true value, merely mentioning that her husband once owned a gallery in Boston. At first, the guest was disappointed with the piece since she expected it to be a painting, but instead discovered it had a 3D sculptural effect. Nevertheless, she grew fond of it with time. This intriguing piece is an op art sculpture by Mon Levinson, an American sculptor and printmaker born in 1926. Made of acrylic plexiglass with intricate lines on different layers that create a kinetic effect.
It's on different layers that sort of have that almost like a kinetic look when you walk by it or look at it from different angles and tilt your head. It's going to give you a slightly different view, almost as if it's moving.
Levinson, a former economics major, became involved in the op art movement and took an active role in the creation of his works. He learnt all the techniques and assembled each piece himself, a rare move for artists at the time. The piece is titled Black Quiet Plane 1A, created in 1964. Mon Levinson's works were featured in exhibitions, including a significant show at the Museum of Modern Art, MoMA, in 1965. This op art sculpture stands out due to its 3D design, reflecting Levinson's exploration of the intersection between art and perception. While there were similar designs released as screen prints in editions of 200, this specific 3D version is the only one of its kind.
You paid around $20.
Yeah.
Those screen prints at auction you can get for probably around $200, and those are released in a series of 200.
Given the rarity, the appraiser values it conservatively at.
Okay.
If you were to see this in a gallery in today's market, you'd probably see it priced at around $12,000.
Okay. I'd say I did good for $20.
I'd say you
I was
did really-
hoping it would be at least $40, so that's good.
This book was given to me by my mother, and it was given to her by a girlfriend.
This remarkable book, Harlem, as seen by Hirschfeld, came into the guest's family during World War II. Her mother, who was working at Fort Devens in Massachusetts, received it from a colleague, another woman working on the base, who had been gifted the book by a military officer. The officer, it turns out, had feelings for her. Not wanting to explain the gift to her fiancé, the woman passed it on to the guest's mother instead. It's been carefully preserved in the family ever since. The book was published in 1941 and is over 80 years old.
Caricature, by its nature, is exaggerated. And there are a lot of times when you're doing caricatures.
It was a collaboration between Al Hirschfeld, the legendary caricaturist, and writer William Saroyan. Only 1,000 copies were ever made, and this one is number 295.
He was trying to always show people in their best. He was trying to show the energy of Harlem. This was done in 1941. It's very much a collectible book.
Hirschfeld's drawings show the spirit and energy of Harlem at the time, with dancers and jazz musicians. They are unique because they show black culture in a respectful and vivid way, at a time when that wasn't common in popular art.
This is also a lithograph in the book.
Yes.
It's in very good condition. It did come out originally with a big slipcase.
I have it.
Oh, you have the slipcase?
Yes, I do.
The copy on the show is in great shape and even has its original slipcase, which is a must-have for Buck fans. Because of its rarity, condition, and cultural importance, this Buck is valued today at...
I was going to say probably $3,500 to $4,000.
Oh, my.
But with the slipcase, I'd say maybe closer to $5,000. That
Goodness.
slipcase is rare.
That's exciting. My mother would be thrilled to hear that.
I got this from my mom. She always told me that this was a one-of-a-kind piece. I never really believed her until I found the little thing that came along with it, and sure enough, it is one of a kind.
The guest inherited this one-of-a-kind Costa boat of vase from their mother, who always believed it was a unique piece, which was later confirmed by a small attached note. The vase was crafted in Sweden, specifically by the renowned Costa Boda Glassworks, and designed by Ulrika Heidman-Valian, one of Sweden's most important female artists of the 1970s and 80s.
Costa Boda would have blown the glass, and then she would have painted directly on it.
Oh, I see.
Ulrika was one of the very important Swedish women artists.
Heidman-Valian, a leading artist at the time, painted directly onto the blown glass, creating a distinctive design that features various animals like rats, dogs, and wolves.
This is really wild, this particular piece, because I was looking at it and there are all these lovely animals. You see things that look like rats, dogs, wolves. It's certainly a unique piece.
The vase was appraised for its exuberance and unique asymmetry, noting that this combination of elements makes it a particularly fascinating piece. The signature on the underside of the vase further affirms its uniqueness, marking it as a one-of-a-kind creation by Heidemann Vallian herself. The appraiser places the vase's retail value between,
I would say, in the neighborhood of maybe $1,500 to $2,500.
Oh my, that's amazing.
In a retail shop.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Well, geez, thanks so much.